What's going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to another episode of The Drop. And today we're going to be talking primarily about Friday the 13th, the game, which is one that I have been looking forward to for a very, very long time. Going on 2 years, I think, that this one's been on my radar after Adam Sessler, one of the hosts that used to be on G4 TV, was talking about it a good bit on one of his podcasts that I think he used to do and doesn't do anymore. That's how long I've been interested in this one. But on top of that, if that isn't your kind of thing, there are a couple of other games worth talking about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, we do have Friday the 13th, the game, coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Jason is back. Jason Voorhees is unleashed and stalking the grounds of Camp Crystal Lake. Friday the 13th, the game, is one of the most highly anticipated horror titles of all time. You will finally be able to take on the role as Jason Voorhees and Camp Crystal Lake counselors. That is the official description of the game, and I, agree with putting that out there. However, this is much more than just a Jason versus the camp counselors of Camp Crystal Lake. This goes a lot deeper than that, because if you're a fan of the original movies, I consider myself a fan of the original movies, they have gone back, the developers of this game have gone back and painstakingly crafted every single aspect of the lore, the locations, the different elements of Jason, the different eras of Jason, if you will. They've brought that all into this game to truly create a Friday the 13th experience where you can play as Jason or somebody that's terrified of Jason. It just depends on what you want to do or what you happen to end up as in a multiplayer lobby. For fans of horror games, or for fans of horror movies, or for fans of just Friday the 13th, this is going to be a fantastic game, and it has been in development for a good long while, and I believe it originally began as a Kickstarter. It did originally begin as a Kickstarter, and I would consider this to be one of the most successful Kickstarters of all time. This is not going to be one of those trashy games that is just churned out after it does hit a certain amount of cash on Kickstarter. This is genuinely a fantastic game. Next up, Get Even is coming to the Xbox One and the PC. Focus and explore. He knows you're a man of details, so focus and breathe. This will make sense when I explain it. Focus on the family. They'll show you the way, except whose memories are they? Don't make assumptions. Assumptions cast doubt. Focus only on the details. The mercenary, the woman, the kidnapping, all becomes clear. It's not really becoming clear through this description. I'm reading this for a reason. Comes into focus and breathe. The girl, the chair, the bomb, the headset, it's all connected, bound by family, which means red is no. Don't make assumptions. Don't even think there's a party coming, a storm in a teacup, and there will be prizes. Focus on that, focus and breathe. You're so close now, and the master is on his way. That's the official write-up for this game. And I want to take a moment just to put this out there. If you understand what kind of game this is, it is a mystery game, a first-person mystery game with incorporated guns that are thrown into it there. However, if you're just browsing through Steam or just browsing through the Xbox store and you find this game, to have this as the description, or an even more vague version of this description, which I found, I believe, on Steam, no one is going to buy that because even your description doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, even Outlast has something that at least resembles a good representation of what you're going to get out of the game. This is just giving you a whole bunch of little snippets of sentences, little fragments of sentences that are supposed to make you want to play the game because they're so weird, they're so out there, they're so creepy. It feels like you're being stalked even though you're just reading a description. That doesn't quite achieve this goal, and it just makes the consumer feel confused. As far as the game goes, it is a first-person mystery that does incorporate some gunplay in there as far as I can see, but it doesn't really grab my attention. However, it does have some potential if it can successfully create a sense of realism, which is so important when you're talking about a horror/mystery game. For instance, in the first Outlast, whenever you're getting ready to face the doctor, his movements almost seem a little bit mechanical of sorts, where it just doesn't feel like he is naturally moving throughout the asylum, and it just kind of took me out of the moment. That is one thing that can totally ruin the vibe that a mystery/horror game does have going for it, and that's one thing you certainly have to avoid, in combination with literally creating a sense of realism for the player through the story itself by, creating some characterization and really giving the characters a personality rather than just presenting stuff and saying, hey, you should be afraid of this. So far, after looking at the game for a couple of minutes, it didn't seem to really show any kind of true promise that it would fulfill all of those expectations that I just listed off. However, it very well might. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this. Next up, RiME is coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. A land of discovery stretches out before you. Explore the beautiful yet rugged world of RiME, a single-player puzzle adventure game. In RiME, you play as a young boy who has awakened on a mysterious island after a shipwreck. You see wild animals, long-forgotten ruins, and a massive tower that beckons you to come closer. Armed with your wits and a will to overcome and the guidance of a helpful fox, you must explore the enigmatic island and unlock its closely guarded secrets. So this game actually does end up looking pretty cool. It's kind of similar to The Witness in a lot of ways because you are pretty much just wandering around this open world trying to solve puzzles, but it is in third person and you do have more characterization through both the boy and the wolf, whereas in The Witness you're pretty much just some being wandering around solving puzzles trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Explaining this game is going to be kind of hard because of just how much the experience itself depends on the player's enjoyment. I can't really sell it to you in a way that I would a normal kind of game, but it definitely looks to be a competitor to The Witness almost, but it is going to put its own unique kind of twist on it. So if you're into those puzzler style games, but you do want a little bit more adventure and exploration mixed in, you might enjoy this one, which is coming out, like I said, to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and to the PC this week. I mean, you've got to figure out what's in that middle tower, right? Next up, we have Vanquish coming to the PC. Platinum Games' revolutionary sci-fi action shooter Sly Boost onto PC. Battle legions of future tech enemies using a vast arsenal of weapons, including all of the DLC. Fully unlocked frame rate and gorgeous HD resolutions up to 4K. The definitive way to play. War has accelerated. So for those that do not know, a couple of weeks back, Bayonetta was released on Steam with a better version, so to speak. It wasn't really called anything, but it's just Bayonetta 2.0 pretty much, where there is an unlocked frame rate, there's a higher, resolution, and it's just got a whole bunch of new bells and whistles. And so Platinum Games decided to go ahead and do the same thing to Vanquish, which is definitely welcome because of the nature of the game itself. Vanquish, much like Bayonetta, is incredibly hectic. There is so much going on the screen that a higher frame rate really does improve the quality of the game. Of course, you hear this thrown around where frame rates matter and all this stuff, 144 hertz. You can listen to all of this stuff, and for some games, it simply doesn't matter. For Platinum Games, it 100% matters a lot. Overall, I would say that Vanquish is going to be right at home on Steam with this new, prettier version of the game. And also, just as a side note, if you have Bayonetta on Steam, then you already have a pretty significant discount to Vanquish if you were interested in picking it up this week. And last but not least, a couple of honorable mentions. Elite Dangerous and Planet Coaster are both coming to retail. Overwatch Game of the Year Edition is coming to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. If you don't have the game already, number one, why? Number two, this version isn't really any better than any other version of the game, so you can pick your poison. Just buy Overwatch, it's fantastic. Portal Knights is coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Darksiders War Mastered Edition is for some reason coming to the Wii U. I don't know either. Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind is coming to the PC, which is pretty much just an expansion to that MMO that takes place in the Elder Scrolls universe. I hear it's pretty good. I couldn't get into it. To each their own. So there you guys have it. I hope you have enjoyed this edition of The Drop. If you did, drop me a like down below and let me know what new games that are coming out this week that you are looking forward to. For me in particular, Friday the 13th has my full attention. I cannot wait to watch some streams of that game. It looks so good. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you happen to be new here, I do upload new stuff on the channel throughout the week. So there's always something new right here on the channel when you do drop by to watch some videos. And also, E3 2017 is coming and I absolutely can't wait. But I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.